Today I'll be telling you guys why you absolutely do not have to upgrade your RTX 2080 Super or 2080 Ti to the brand new 3090 or 3080 graphics cards. Now, contrary to popular belief, this is not going to be product justification. This is just going to be information that has gone overlooked in the midst of all the hype, right? So smack a like on this video because we're getting to the point right now. For starters, these brand new graphics cards are not going to be experiencing their full potential right out of the gate. So you're buying something hoping you can see its full potential, and it's not going to happen for a very long time. Here's what I mean. The PlayStation 5 is 10 teraflops. The Xbox Series X is 12. The Nvidia RTX 2080 Super is 11.5, and the 2080 Ti is 12 or 13. So easily you can see you are still within all of the range of performance with the 2080 Super level, and then the 2080 Ti, you're above it. So, I mean, really, from a GPU perspective, graphically, you're going to be able to pull off some very similar stuff, right? Now, obviously, there are some next generation technologies like PCIe 4.0 and these brand new custom made SSDs from both of these companies that will be able to load games faster and to be able to push things around and give them a different experience. But still, that doesn't change GPU limitations. Take, for example, Ratchet and Clank running at 4K 30 FPS with ray tracing on. You're not going to get past certain limitations, and next gen is all about those limitations. And the reality is PC is 100% dependent on the optimization of those games on console. Now, let's be real. We haven't seen any game focus heavily on mesh shaders, ray tracing, and all that other stuff that we're going to be seeing next gen. Like, we have not seen a fully next gen game yet, right? And I really want you guys to know when those games come out, that's when you should start freaking out if you're noticing your games are crashing, telling you can't load those assets, or you should lower your settings or something like that. But if you aren't getting those messages right now, then you should chill. Because honestly speaking, until you see your computer freak out and tell you can't run those, look at the maximum computer recommendation for those machines, dude. Like, your 2080 Ti can freaking run that game and run it beautifully, I'll put. Now, if you remember with Unreal Engine 5, they showed this awesome demo on PS5, right? Your 2080 Ti will be even more capable than that PS5 demo that blew everybody's minds, right? And everybody forgets that now because Nvidia came out with some hot new tech, and yeah, it's super powerful and it's going to make things better. Locked 4K at 60 FPS with ray tracing, that's wonderful. But honestly speaking, not necessary. Here's why. On my RTX 2080 Super, I use 1440p at 60 FPS with everything maxed out. Then I let the TV, which in my case is the Sony A8G Bravia OLED, upscale everything to 4K, and I'm good. I don't notice a difference from native 4K, especially once I slap on DLSS. Now, Nvidia also proved that DLSS is better than native 4K, so you can clearly see that there is a benefit when you turn on DLSS. We know next gen is all about compromises and compression to get to the next level of graphics or resolution quality in general, with things like DLSS leading the charge, DSC leading the charge, right? So with the 8K at 60 FPS they showed off with the 8K on LG side of things, they were using, DLSS to pull that off. Now, why not just use 1440p, use DLSS, and enjoy your game with better performance, even better performance than what you already got? Hell, you wouldn't even have to do that. You could use 4K and still get an awesome experience with everything maxed out. Look at what happened with the 2060 Super. You're seeing 4K 60 with Death Stranding, an open world game, on a 2060 Super. So stop freaking out. DLSS is obviously the game changer here. Nvidia is just hyping up these cards for people wanting 4K at 120 hertz and 8K gaming. But if you don't care that much for that, DLSS has got you covered, especially DLSS 2.0, let alone a 3.0 implementation or anything better. Okay, so honestly speaking, calm yourself down, walk off the ledge, stop throwing away your graphics cards for $500 on eBay. That is not the answer here. And honestly, just realize the technology that is already inside of your graphics card and the technology that has yet to even come out at the console level. I mean, can we just take a minute to realize right now the 2080 Ti, people are throwing it away for $500. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X are significantly more underpowered as far as that GPU. Well, not the Xbox Series X. They're only 1 teraflop or so under, but the PlayStation 5 is definitely significantly underpowered in the teraflop range compared to that GPU. So seriously speaking, you have nothing to worry about. These games are still going to look great. These games are still going to be amazing. Now, yes, I am well aware consoles can be more optimized than PC. However, there is also the other side of that argument where PC is 100% reliant on the optimization of those console games. So console games like, coming out of EA or coming out of Ubisoft or whatever, the optimization is key, because how they do it for console, as far as the implementation of ray tracing and all that other stuff, mesh shaders, you guys get the dig. Okay, all that stuff transfers right over to PC when they start making those games. Now, 4K 60 has been noted as the target for next-gen gaming. It's just, that's what they chose. They didn't choose 4K at 120 hertz. Now, they're saying you can go up to that, which is great and everything, but I feel like on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, the amount of games that actually do that aren't going to be very high at the mainstream level. Indie games will hit it left and right, racing games will hit it left and right, and shooters will hit it left and right. But honestly speaking, that's not a real feat here, because you can already pull that off on the current gen graphics cards we have right now. So my point, again, just chill out, don't freak out too much, and also take into account the fact that if you're somebody who is maybe rocking a 10 series graphics card, to see a lot of 1080 guys saying now's the perfect time to upgrade, just be mindful, you might actually have to do a damn near full PC build again, or you might have to do as close to a full PC build as possible. And let me explain that for a second. Okay, so we already know these graphics cards require more power. You're probably going to need to upgrade your motherboard for a PCIe 4.0 port, right? You don't have that now. You're probably going to have to upgrade your CPU so you don't bottleneck your GPU. You're probably going to have to end up adding more RAM, right? You're probably going to end up having to get a new power supply to upgrade maybe your 750 or your 650 power supply that many people choose, right? 850 or better on these machines, upwards to 1,000 is what a lot of people are recommending. So it's going to be crazy. I wouldn't recommend anything lower than 850 though. I mean, there's so much that you have to rebuild at that point that it's just like, it's not just a GPU for some people, and that's something to think about. Now, obviously speaking, if you have a 1080, I mean, some people are good. Some people already made upgrades throughout the years, but other people kind of are still running their 1080 Ti's on 650 and 700 watt power supplies, and you might want to upgrade a little bit more than that to be able to appreciate this next gen, and that's going to cost you some extra coin. So I think all in all, this video is really just telling you guys to calm down, stop freaking out because Nvidia said something cool and they have new stuff coming out. Because while yes, there is a big benefit, yes, it blows the 20 series away in every perceivable metric, you still are going to be seeing a mind-blowingly beautiful experience on the 20 series as well, because it still has that DLSS, which is allowing the brand new cards to shine even further, up to 8K at 60 FPS. Let me put it to you like this. If it can get a newer card that was only designed for 4K at 120 Hertz up to 8K 60, what do you think it can do for a card that was designed with 4K in mind from the jump? That's all I'll say. I hope this helps you guys out. Thank you guys so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.